let me say that our government, together with other governments around the world, have been very consistent in expressing our concerns about the imposition of the national security law on Hong Kong. And today we have agreed to announce that that national security law constitutes a fundamental change of circumstances in respect to our extradition agreement with Hong Kong. And so Australia today has taken steps to suspend our extradition agreement. We have formally notified Hong Kong and advised the Chinese authorities. I also note that our travel advice for Hong Kong has been updated and would encourage Australians to refer to that travel advice. But our immigration program provides some particular opportunities for those who have been living as citizens in Hong Kong, and around 10,000 or thereabouts of Hong Kong citizens and residents are currently in Australia on student visas or on temporary work visas. What we've agreed to do is we've agreed to adjust the policy settings to ensure that for skilled and graduate visa holders, we will be extending visas by 5 years from today, with a pathway to permanent residency at the end of those 5 years.
So let me repeat again, there is so much talent in Hong Kong. There are great businesses in Hong Kong, and we know that many individuals now might be looking elsewhere because they do want to be in a freer country, they want to be in a democratic country, and we want to make it attractive for that super talent to consider Australia, and that's what these measures do. Now, we know that there are over 1,000 international businesses who have their regional headquarters presently in Hong Kong, and we also know that many have already signalled that they're looking to relocate elsewhere in the world. And this includes media businesses, financial services businesses, large consulting businesses, which have already signalled that they're looking elsewhere. And we want them to look to Australia to come to and set up shop. And so we'll be developing incentives for them to do so, but with that, a package of visas as well, so that all the critical staff can come and potentially relocate in one of our cities or a region and be able to get pathways to permanent residency.
Shouldn't draw any, I suspect, parallels between what Australia is announcing here than with what you would have seen announced in the UK, for example. The UK has a very special relationship with Hong Kong and a very special set of responsibilities, and they're talking about numbers which are not in contemplation in Australia, or we're not seeing anything along those lines. As I say, most of the changes will impact on those who are already here in Australia, and at this stage, having just announced it, there's no indication, obviously, as of yet, about the level of interest, but I would be very confident that it will be able to be accommodated within a reasonable, whether it's hundreds or we're certainly not talking about tens of thousands or anything of that nature. We're talking at a modest level, I would thought, and if it were to ramp up over time, then we would make whatever adjustments we had to ensure that could be accommodated and absorbed. But what we've agreed to do is we've agreed to adjust the policy settings to ensure that for skilled and graduate visa holders, we will be extending visas by 5 years from today, with a pathway to permanent residency at the end of those 5 years. Now, that means if you're a current or future student, you will be able to stay for a total of 5 years once you've graduated, with a pathway to permanent residency at the end of that period.
澳方有关言论和所宣布的举措，严重违反国际法和国际关系基本准则，粗暴干涉中国内政。中方不吃这一套，对此表示强烈谴责，并保留进一步作出反应的权利。由此造成的一切后果，将完全由澳方承担。我要强调，任何对华施压的图谋都绝不会得逞。中方敦促澳方立即改弦更张，停止以任何方式干涉香港事务和中国内政，以免对中澳关系造成进一步的损害。